Hello everyone, and welcome back to Carrie's Beauty Corner. Today's video is going to be all about drugstore makeup. I've seen this video floating around on YouTube. A lot of people are doing this, and this is like if you're a beginner, if you're new to makeup, whether you be young or older, either one, if you're new to makeup, I have some recommendations for you. So if that sounds interesting to you, then just stick around, and that's coming right up. All right, y'all, I'm gonna zip through this pretty quickly rather than doing a bunch of swatches of the particular colors that I have and that I use. I'm just going to recommend the products and then you can select whatever color would suit you. I think that would be the easiest way to get through this video without making it too terribly long. So let's start out. This is how I would start out doing my makeup, and the first thing I would do is I would use primer. Okay, now I have a hydrating primer, which is the e.l.f. Glass Correct. This comes in different colors, but this is a very nice, inexpensive hydrating primer. And then I also have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which is wonderful for filling in lines and wrinkles. I actually like to just tap this into my skin, but this is a wonderful pore filling type primer. And I just find that my foundation goes on better with primer, so that is a step that I always take. Now for foundation, I've got a full coverage foundation and I've got a couple of tinted hydrators, and most of these products are going to be $10 and under, so you really can't beat them. For the lightest coverage, the Wet n Wild tinted hydrator is a wonderful choice. And then for a little more coverage, there's the Essence Pretty Natural. Both of these are going to be very hydrating and not, probably not one for a lot of coverage. But if you're looking for one with a lot of coverage, I cannot say enough good things about this foundation right here. This is the Believe Beauty foundation. This is exclusive to Dollar General, and y'all, for $5 you get a glass bottle and you get a pump and you get beautiful coverage. This is the foundation that I'm wearing today, and it surprises me every time I use it. So I mean, for $5, why not? Concealer. This is the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer, and I have been very surprised. I've heard some people talk about this concealer, but I think it's wonderful, and I've been very surprised to not hear more about this from some of the other influencers. I would have thought that this would have just really caught fire, and it hasn't. But two that have are the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. I mean the e.l.f. Camo Concealer and the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Both of these wonderful. $6, I think. I'm pretty sure. Everything will be listed and linked below. Now for powder, I got a couple of different choices. I've got the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. You can't go wrong with this one, and even though it's a matte powder, it does have a pretty finish. That's what I'm using today, and my skin does not look flat, which is what I really like about this powder. Is it does set everything down, and it does have a matte finish, but it's matte without looking dry or cakey. But if you want more of a dewy look, the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder is a wonderful choice as well. Now let's go to warming up the skin. And I find if you're a beginner, if you're a makeup beginner, regardless of your age, you're probably not going to do a whole lot of contouring, and you're probably not going to be ready for cream products. So I have two wonderful powder bronzers. The first one is the Essence, and it is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. And then I have the Primer Infused by e.l.f., the Primer Infused Bronzer. And both of these are tremendous. And what I like about both of them, I am going to go ahead and swatch this for you so that you can see. You can barely see it when I swatch it, which means you're probably not going to be able to overdo. If you take a big fluffy brush, maybe something like this from Wet n Wild, and you go in and then you really start warming up the skin, you're not going to look chocolate when you're finished, because this just goes on very lightly and it blends into the skin really well. So you really can't mess it up. So I highly recommend, and they both performed very similarly in my opinion, so I don't think you can go wrong there. And on that same note, the Primer Infused line also has blushes, and I'm not sure how many shades, but I will put that up on the screen. I have this in Always Punchy and Always Preppy, but these are terrific. And then two more are from Essence, and I've got the Mosaic blushes, and then I think they also, Essence makes a solid blush, very affordable, very pretty on the skin. And the last complexion product, not everyone uses highlighter, but I love highlighter, and these particular highlighters are not expensive at all. These are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow. I have them in Golden Flower Crown, Precious Petals, and Bloom Time. And yes, I know these by heart because I've been using them for years, and they are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This is a holy grail product for a lot of people, and this is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Be My Highlight. It is a little more on the subtle side. This is one that you kind of can put on, and it's so smooth, and it's not quite as noticeable. You know there's something there, but let me swatch. This is Precious Petals that I have on today, and you can definitely see it. You can see it. Well, let me do a better swatch than that. But you could see it's a little more reflective than the Essence, but I don't know, it depends on, again, makeup is such a personal thing, and it all depends on what you like, and there's no wrong way to do it. And one more that I have is the e.l.f. Shimmer Highlighting Powder. And this is another one that's pretty subtle. I'm gonna put it over here. It's very smooth and very subtle, but these are terrific. I mean, we're keeping it under 10 bucks. There's not one product that I've mentioned that's probably over the $8 mark. So, moving on to eyes. Now, let me say this first. For eyes, you don't have to have eyeshadow. You don't have to start out doing some major look. You can throw a little bit of bronzer in your crease, throw a little bit of highlighter on your lid, and you're good to go. You don't have to have an eyeshadow palette if you're starting out. But if you do want to start playing with eyeshadows, may I recommend the $3 bite-size palettes from e.l.f. This is Cream and Sugar, and this one is in Truffle. They're probably the most neutral of all of them. And then the Wet n Wild 5-pan are $3.99, I believe. I have this one in Walking on Eggshells and Camo Flaunt. Those are both very, very neutral. And then if you want to spend the big money and go for the $6 palette, this one is in Nude Awakening. And if I can get it open, I will show you. You could do a lot with this particular palette. There's a lot of looks that you could do with that. So again, you're not spending a whole lot of money, and I think that you can't go wrong. For eyeliner, I've got a couple of different eyeliners. Both are from Essence. One of them is the Essence Gel Highlighter, and one of them is called, Gel Highlighter, Gel Eye Pencil, and the other one is the Kajal. One of them is in a brown color, one of them is in black. Both of them you have to sharpen yourself, but I think they're under $3 a piece. Let's move on to eyebrows. Now, eyebrows are another thing. Not everybody does their eyebrows. Not everyone has a drawer full of brow products. However, even if you're doing a simple fill-in with your brow, you cannot go wrong with the Instant Lift Brow Pencil from e.l.f., $3. Even if you don't use a pencil and you wanted to go in with just a brow gel, the Essence Make Me Brow is a great choice, and then the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Either one of these, great. Put those in your makeup bag and go. For mascara, now, I think because number one, you have a lot to choose from. Number two, the price is right. And number three, it works. The Essence, wow, has that ever happened to y'all? I mean, it just, whoo, just left. The Essence brow, the Essence Lash Princess. Now there's different colors, and different colors are different things. This one is the volume in the peachy color, and it has a wand that looks like this, and it's okay, but not my favorite. I know there's one with a curved brush. I'm not sure how many formulas there are, but the False Lash Effect is my favorite. The one in the green, and then the blue is the waterproof version of this one. But y'all, this Lash Princess, I mean, come on. You can't go wrong. You cannot. Let's see. For lip pencils, not everyone's going to use a lip pencil, but if you are interested in a good one, there is a BFF line of these pencils from ColourPop. I believe they're $6 a piece, and they're all going to be in a neutral shade. There's like, go away! Goodness, there's another wasp in here. I gotta figure out where that's coming from. Holy crap. I just knocked my mirror. Anyway, there's like BFF1, BFF2, BFF3. I'm not sure how many there are. I will put that on the screen as well. But these are great, and you can also fill your lips in with these, and they'll last all day long. Now this one is from Essence, and it is the 8-hour waterproof, and it's a mechanical pencil, and y'all, this thing just glides on the lips. I mean, it is so smooth. It's wonderful. And I've got a couple of suggestions for you for just a nude lipstick, and these are from Wet n Wild also. My husband's mowing. My husband lives on that tractor. Anyway, this is more of a moisturizing formula, and this one is in Close Off. And then this is the matte, and we have this one, which is, I should know this right off the top of my head, Skinny Dipping. And then this one, it's very, very similar, is in Bare It All. So those are three wonderful nude choices. Now, if you are into setting spray at all, I think the coconut setting spray from from Wet n Wild is wonderful. I love the e.l.f. Mist and Set, which I have it. Here it is. The e.l.f. And then there was one more. Oh, Wet n Wild also has this one, which gives you a natural finish. And then there's one more that I highly, highly, highly recommend. And here it is the Catrice Prime and Find. And they have this one in matte and in dewy. I happen to like mine in the dewy. But y'all, that's going to cover you from start to finish. And like I said, we're going to keep you each product under the $10 mark, most of them under the $8 mark. So I don't know that you noticed that I suggest a lot of e.l.f., a lot of Essence, a lot of Wet n Wild. Catrice is a really good brand. J-Cat Beauty is another really good brand. Who am I leaving out? I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. But anyway, gosh, your choices are just unlimited. But I thought this might help you narrow down your search a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you next time. Thank you. I love y'all. Bye.